everybody. Welcome to Boogie and The Bell. I am The Bell, here with Boogie, of course. How we feeling, brother?
What's up, man? It's this time of year we really getting into the holiday spirit. We got Christmas next week, which means we got a bunch of holiday games, an exciting weekend for football and basketball coming up. So we're gonna get into it, and I'm ready, man.
All right, we're going to get straight to it. Of course, we're going to start with Boogie and The Bell's trivia, and I'm going to let you take it first, Boogie. Give it to me.
All right, all right. My trivia, keeping it in theme with the holidays. We got Christmas next Monday. So in honor of that, my trivia question is going to be based on Christmas. So my question to you, A. Bell, is can you name the five NBA teams that have the worst record on Christmas Day?
Ooh. Is there like consistent Christmas teams? I know LeBron plays Christmas.
They usually keep headlines, whoever's kind of whatever interesting matchups,
Okay.
look good for the year. But so the number of games that these teams that they play varies, but some of the teams have really bad records on Christmas Day.
Let's start with just the worst teams because they're generally probably not going to do much better on Christmas. I'm going to start with the Hornets.
The Hornets, okay, so I'm not going to count the Hornets on this list
Why
simply
not?
because they have never played on Christmas.
Okay.
So they
So,
don't so
we'll
they
go
don't
with
count.
another
They don't
road.
ca- they
Why
don't
do
count.
I feel like the Knicks are on there?
The Knicks are not in the bottom five.
Let's throw the low. This tough one. Let's go. I'm about to start just naming team. Let's throw the Nuggets on there.
The Nuggets have the third worst record, or really they're tied for the second worst record. They have won 25% of their Christmas Day games. They have gone
I feel
two
like
and six.
Sacramento plays a lot. Sac.
Nope, they're not in the bottom five.
The Bronco. No, I'm just the Sacramento. Let's do Golden State. Probably has a great record. The Cavaliers probably have a great record. All those years with LeBron on Christmas. Um, let's do the Bucks.
Nope, not in the bottom five.
Let's do the New Jersey Nets.
Not in the bottom five.
Let's do a hint.
So the three of the teams are on the Western Conference. One of the teams is in the Eastern Conference.
I have a strong feeling San Antonio is awesome.
They're not in the bottom.
Houston.
Nope.
Oh. Dallas probably not.
Nope, not in the bottom five. You're
The
struggling, man.
I know I'm like naming it. Like, you might as well have
I,
asked me what
I,
teams aren't.
all right, I'll give you a hint, man. All right, one hint for one of these teams is Drake.
Oh wow, the Toronto Raptors.
Toronto Raptors. They have never won a game on Christmas.
Do they celebrate Christmas out there? Yeah.
They do.
White Santa.
There's also like a Canadian Christmas Day. I just found out about
Okay.
it.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I wonder why they would even let them play. Let's do Minnesota T Wolves.
nope.
Lavelle.
I'll give
Let's
you two more. I'll
do.
give you two more guesses, man, because you're running out of teams.
Oh, Indiana,
They're,
Indiana,
they're all
Indiana.
in the Western
Or,
Conference. Indiana. Oh, the Pacers? No, no. I'll give you one more guess, and then I'll just start naming the teams. I guess this
all
was a
right,
trick question.
let's do Orlando.
Western Conference, man.
Oh, that's all we have left.
That's it. Just three Western Conference teams.
I did Golden State. It's not the Lakers. It's Jesus Christ. Go give it to me.
All right, starting from the bottom to the top. So the Raptors and the Memphis Grizzlies never won a Christmas Day game. The Nuggets and the Pelicans both sitting at 25%, and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 30%. Those five teams have the worst Christmas Day records.
Now you know damn well I wasn't gonna get that.
Hey, I just feel
All
bad for the
right.
Hornets, man. The Hornets they don't even give them a chance.
Yeah, that's why I didn't understand Toronto. I was like a Canadian team on Christmas, huh? That's what everybody wants to watch. Let's go ahead and move into mine. And I'm gonna give you something that should be a lot easier, but we're gonna go past 5 Super Bowls.
Oh, just the matchups?
Nope. Past 5 winners of the Super Bowl. Excuse me.
Oh, okay, I got you. So Chiefs
So
were
we're
last
doing.
year,
Go ahead.
right? Yeah, I'm
Yep.
going. Okay, Chiefs for last year. That was 2023, 2022. Um, dang, am I blanking
Memories.
already? It was the
Yep.
Rams. It was the Rams.
You're
The
awesome.
year before that, it was the Bucks.
COVID.
The year before that, it was the Chiefs.
Good. Nope.
No, I'm early. Who won in between? The Patriots? No, 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 no.
Yes. The
What?
Patriots. For it.
Oh, the Patriots.
Yep.
That was the last five. The Chiefs. The Chiefs. The Chiefs have to be in there
Nope.
again. They're
No,
not in
you
there
already
again.
got the Chiefs. You got the Chiefs. One Chiefs. This is a tough one because it doesn't feel like it was 5 years ago. But you got to remember, COVID kind of lasted 2.
There was two COVID. Because I remember the Chiefs. They
So think
won the
about New
Super.
England Patriots. Who won before the New England Patriots
The
4 years?
Chiefs. Oh, 4 year. Oh, the Eagles. The Eagles. The Eagles.
There you go.
Yeah.
That one's a tough one because I'm so stuck in the Jalen Hurts era, and I know that he's lost one, and I know he had a good year before that one, and then I know they were talking about whether or not he's NFL material his rookie year.
Right.
So I'm like, I'm so stuck in the Jalen Hurts era that it's like you forget that they just won with like their backup quarterback. And beat
Hey,
Tom
shout
Brady.
out Philly though. Shout out Philly. That's 2 Super Bowl appearances in what is that? 6 years. That's pretty good.
Not too bad. Chiefs SK. So all right, man. We're moving into our segment 2. We're gonna go ahead and go with games, topics, and news. And of course, I will take topic 1. L Boogie, part 2. Who now is your top 3 MVP candidates? Now, before you answer, I actually have a cool article written up, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. But it's actually the odds of who's gonna win, and we have Brock Purdy in as a minus 200. So not only do you not gonna make more money than you put in on Brock Purdy, but you're gonna have to put $20 in just to make 10. Right behind Brock Purdy, we have. Oops, excuse me. Let me get to it. We have Dak Prescott plus 150, Josh Allen plus 200. Those are the top 3 on this list.
Josh Allen?
Interesting enough, right?
That is an interesting one.
So I guess he's going to be stealing a lot of votes.
Okay, I guess. I don't. I guess.
Excuse me. We have Lamar Jackson plus 450. Then we have Dak Prescott plus 600. We have Josh Allen coming in after that at plus 16.
Okay, Lamar. That sounds better. I mean, I think I agree with that list. I mean, for odds makers' sakes, I mean, it's a quarterback award. So I agree with that order. Dak would be a little higher up if he didn't just have that stinker against the Buffalo Bills this past weekend. So I think there's a chance for him to boost his stock as we get to the end of the season. But really, I don't really think. Well, maybe Lamar. I'll put Lamar in there, but I think someone who has a really good case. There's 2 players who have a really good case for MVP. Christian McCaffrey, running back, San Francisco 49ers. He does everything for that offense, catches it, runs it. People like to give Debo credit for being the toughness on that team, but Christian McCaffrey, he'll run in between the tackles. He'll do what he needs to do to get the job done. So I think
consistent.
And he's been consistent all year. He's been healthy all year. People always worry about his health. I personally think should be an MVP. And second in the running should be Tyreek Hill. That Miami team depends on Tyreek Hill. They've had a great season, explosive offense, but you take away Tyreek Hill, they are not the same. They are
plus
not
2,500, by the way.
It's just because he's not a quarterback, and I understand it's really a quarterback award, but if we're really talking about valuable, Tyreek Hill, Christian McCaffrey, those should be the top 2. Then quarterback speaking, Brock Purdy, I can see it. Lamar, I can see it. He's everything to that team. So So, yeah.
So I'm going to make mine short and sweet. I don't like Brock Purdy being a minus 200 when Christian McCaffrey's on the list at a plus 1,000 because I feel like what he provides to that team is more valuable than Brock Purdy. If we look at recent history in San Francisco 49ers, plug in a lot of quarterbacks. Look what Jimmy Garoppolo was able to do. He was able to get to NFC championship games. You know, you could plug a lot of quarterbacks into that system and you give them Debo, you give them Christian McCaffrey to do all the heavy work. They're going to do just fine. So Brock Purdy, yes, he's performed very well. It's not just game management situation, but I think Christian McCaffrey deserves it over him. My number 2 is going to be Dak, which is a stretch over Lamar Jackson. I just think Dak really decides to I think the Dallas Cowboys really decide to just throw everything out the window for no reason on a every 4 weeks. It's just something with the Cowboys that we have to just say, okay, we are concerned how we have been for the past 5 years, right? Since 6 years, since we were in college, like it's been a long time we've been doing with the same thing with the Cowboys. It'll be every 4 weeks. We're just like, how did this happen? How did you guys let this happen? And I think that ruins his chances. But other than that, you can't deny that he's having an MVP season, which makes him number 2, which is why I would never vote for them to actually. Yeah, he wouldn't be my main vote. Number 3, my dog Lamar Jackson. I just think he's just having a great season. I think he is the best team in the AFC. I think he deserves it if Christian McCaffrey and even Brock Purdy weren't having such great seasons. But then I follow up with a Brock Purdy. But we're only doing 3, so. That's just how that's going to play out. But we shall see. I think we're actually going to stay updated on that, and I'm excited to see who gets it. All right, man. Moving into topic number 2. Go ahead, Boogie. Give it to me.
All right. Topic number 2, sticking with the NFL. We're talking the Philadelphia Eagles. This team started off the season 6 or 7-0. They've been on a losing streak. They've lost 3 games in a row. And you know, they were looking like the Super Bowl favorites coming out of the NFC. Now it looks like they just look like they're kind of sputtering as we get into this later stretch of the season. So what do you think is happening with the Eagles? Do you think it's a team thing, a coaching thing? Is it a Jalen Hurts issue? What do you think is causing this slump with them?
So, I mean, the weather's changing. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so the weather's changing, so we're going to give him credit there. He was sick in the most recent loss. He went out there. He had his own version of the flu game, started the game off really well, and then they slowly digressed throughout the game. I think that the season's starting to weigh on them, and when you have a heavy end of the schedule, teams that took the beginning part of the season off, you think of the Broncos, you think of the Bills, and it's do or die every single week. Other teams are not laying off preparing for the playoffs, but they are mentally drained from stacking so high at the beginning of the year. So I think they took 2 tough losses to 2 really good NFC teams. But I don't think that they deserve all. And, of course, we're talking the Seahawks loss I don't think was the best loss to take. But I think the season is just starting to weigh on them really heavy right now. So is it okay that they're losing this late into the season by this much? No. But will they be ready by playoff time? I do believe so. And I do think it's a humbling reset to understand that, no, there are teams that are good and there are teams that are ready to beat us. And not only beat us, but beat us really bad to get to the next level, which at this point is just the Super Bowl when we're talking about the Cowboys, the San Francisco, and Seahawks. They might want their first playoff win. They're shooting for a playoff win. They're not just shooting for the playoffs, but to actually win a playoff game. So I think the season just weighed heavy on the Eagles, and it's coming back down on them. I think it's going to level them out, and then that same intensity that they came with the first 12 weeks of the season, they're going to bring it right back come playoff time. What about you, Bud?
I think the team, I really am starting to think that it's an issue with Jalen Hurts. And I'm not saying it's all his
Wow.
fault. I think it's a Jalen Hurts thing just because, one, he's not healthy. I mean, you mentioned he
Yes.
was sick in this last game. He's also been dealing with a knee issue. I think it's his left knee. It's been bothering him the past couple weeks. And I think they were hoping that after the bye week, he would come back and be 100%. He doesn't look like 100%. He doesn't look like the same runner, Jalen Hurts, that he, you know, was in the past. So I think that's that. I think that's one issue. And I think he just turns the ball over too many times. Like, I know we give him credit. He gets these rushing touchdowns, with the tush push,
Yeah.
whatever. But like he throws a pick. It's like a guaranteed pick or two every game. Yeah, he'll maybe throw a touchdown or two, but he cancels it out with a pick or two, a couple fumbles. I think he's just a little too turnover prone, and this offense doesn't score to the volume that it needs to in order to make those turnovers just go away. Like, those turnovers matter. They're in a bunch of close ball games. They're losing these games because of the turnovers. So I think it's something with Jalen Hurts. I think that team is a little bit frustrated. They know they're a good team and they're not really performing up to their standards. So I
Now,
think
go ahead.
I
Go
think
ahead.
they're gonna. I think down the stretch, they just went through a really grueling like couple weeks of the season, and they're still trying to push in order to get, or at least to win the division, and they're still in contention for the number one seed. Um, but I think this team just needs to try their best to win the division, make it to the playoffs, and hope Jalen Hurts can get healthier. Um, but yeah, they don't look like the Eagles of last year. I think losing their offensive and defensive coordinator from last year, I think that really hurt that football team.
Now, granted, I think if they lost three close games in a row, if every game ended how the Seahawks game ended, which the second half was very poorly played, but if they ended every game a lot closer, I think we would be having a different conversation. But that's what comes with the territory when you're playing teams who have one goal in mind, and that is the Super Bowl. It's do or die for Dallas. Do or die. It's not really a do or die situation for San Francisco because they got some use to that team, but they're constructed so well that it's like we have to show these boys that we're not nothing to mess with in the playoffs. Not even nothing that you gonna have a rough night of sleep the night before thinking about us. So if the games were closer, I think the Eagles would be looked at a bit different. But yeah, they're having obvious issues. I mean, your quarterback's trying to have a flu game while battling a slight injury while having an off year. It's tough, and where it's almost crunch time. So, you know, but we'll
Yeah, I think
see.
it hurts them. This is when you need to be playing your best football, and right now they're not playing their best football. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll see what happens down the stretch.
All right, topic number 3. We're going with El Boogie. Go ahead and this is yours. Go ahead.
All right, switching gears a little bit, we're
Oh,
going
excuse
to.
me. It is actually my topic. I apologize. We're and thank you for trying to cover up for me. But anyways, this is for NBA. Can the Memphis Grizzlies make the playoffs? Of course, the only reason I'm even dare saying a sentence like that is the return of Ja Morant. Just to remind, he scored 38 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds in his return, 2 monster dunks, one that left a man. He should probably retire, if you ask me. How you feel about it?
So right now, Memphis Grizzlies, Ja Morant's return was last night. They started out the season 6-19. They were 6-19 without Ja Morant. Won yesterday. Now they're 7-19. They're sitting in the 13th spot in the West. Now, the reason why I think they still can make the playoffs is because it is still very early in the season. We're about at that one quarter, almost 1/3 mark of the NBA season. So there's still plenty of games left, plenty of time for Ja to come back and get in rhythm with the team. He showed last night, hey, he's still Ja Morant. He's still gonna ball.
Yeah.
He's still gonna put up points. He's still gonna put up stats. He's gonna be the star on that team. You just need the rest of the team to play good around him. So they have time to figure it out. I think they definitely can at least make it in the play-in. I would like to say that they can make it in the play-in, but when I look at the play-in teams right now, You got the Suns, you got the Lakers, you got the Pelicans, and you got the Rockets. Those are the 4 play-in teams right now, and the Warriors are sitting right outside that bubble. So you have some teams with some talent that are already in those play-in spots. So it's not going to be easy, but I think the Grizzlies can. I think the Grizzlies can do it, especially if Ja comes out balling like he did last night.
So the reason I am saying is because of a very thing that they added during COVID, and that was called a play-in. So with the play-in tournament, it changes the game. So being 13, it's like, what are we even talking about? Like, we're 30 games into the season. If you're 13, you're not going to come back and be number 1. We all understand that. You have a very slight chance to come back and be number 8. Slight. But being that all you have to do is become number 10, I think that they're a shoo-in for the play-in no matter what. And I think they're going to go on a crazy streak. Do I think they're going to win 15 games in a row? No. But I think over the course of 20 games, can he turn a team who only has 6 wins into a team in the next 20 games who can win 12 to 14 out of 20? I think so. I think that they're going to go on a run. I think he adds the explosiveness to it. I think tickets are going to start selling crazy. I think there's going to be a lot of energy for those players, and I think that they could possibly make a move at trade deadline. Now, I haven't looked too much into their cap or anything like that. But if they move a couple pieces to make a real push to save this season, I don't see them not making that 10th slot.
Right.
So
and the Grizzlies, they're not a bad team. I mean, they have Desmond Bane. You know, he's a pretty quality player.
for sure.
Yeah. So I think they have talent, so I think they can make it.
See, the team's so bad, I haven't even been checking on Marcus Smart. Have you been checking on Smart?
Oh, yeah, he is on the Grizzlies, huh? That is crazy.
I think Ja Morant adds a brand new energy to that team. And I think they do got some dogs. They just need somebody to come in and just help them really start barking. So that's it. But yeah, we shall see. All right. Topic number 4.
All right, sticking with basketball as we're approaching this, like I said, quarter, one-third portion of the season. Question to you, Abel, is who are the real contenders in the NBA? Who are the teams that we think have a chance to actually take it home in the end?
I'm gonna go top 3 both sides. It looks right on both sides. Congratulations to the Thunder for being on top 3 of both sides. I'm talking about the standings and also my personal picks for people who are actually contending for a title this year. The Thunder, can they do it? Let's give them another year of chemistry. So I will put them at number 6, but I have the Sixers at 5. Unfortunately, I think Tyrese Maxey and Embiid need one more year to build that chemistry after the fall of James Harden to make a real push for the title. Only because what stands in their way is the Bucks and the Celtics, and I see great chemistry between them, but when it's Dame time, it's Dame time, and I don't know if the Sixers are going to be ready to handle Dame time mixed in with Greek Freak when it comes down to a 7-game series, however they meet, if they do meet. And that's not to mention who I have at number 4, and that's the Celtics. I have the Bucks. No, I have Bucks at 4. I have Celtics at 3. So having the Celtics at 3, it's just time. Come on, Celtics. If you guys are going to do this, do it. Like, if you guys are going to do it, just do it. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, if you guys are going to do it, just do it. There's nothing that we could say here today. There's nothing that any professional analyst could say. There's nothing that they can't say in the locker room to prove to us why they can't win the championship this year, why they're not good enough, why they not get paid enough, why they don't have a supporting I don't want to hear it. Just do it. If you guys are going to do it, just do it. And I have you guys at number 3 because you guys haven't done it yet. And I'm going to go to proving people by saying the Timberwolves they put in the same time. So I have the Timberwolves at 2, but hear me out. They put in the time that the Nuggets did to develop a team. They're an underdog because they don't get the respect that they want. They have people who've been there for a very long time, much like these Nuggets. And they are competing with the best of the best at a very high level, and they're proving to everybody like, oh, this is our Nuggets run. This team was built. This team did not steal and drag people into it. We were strong at our core, and we deserve to be in that title contention. But the only thing that's stopping them is still going to be the number one, and that's the Nuggets. And it's because they have a proven system, and they're having a very shaky, tough time right now. Or at least they have, especially during Jamal Murray's injury. But even kind of when he came back. But guess what? We're right back on the rise with the Nuggets. The Nuggets are rising right now as we speak. I think that they're going to have chemistry. I think that Michael Porter Jr. has found a great balance of staying healthy enough to play. I think power forward, what's his name?
Jokic?
No, that's center.
Power forward.
Dredd. He has locks.
You're not talking DeAndre, are you?
No, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, Aaron Gordon. My bad.
Aaron Gordon. I think Aaron Gordon's going to come strong like he did last playoffs. I think they're real contenders. They have their core. They have their base. They have a foundation that they built and spent years to build. That's the only reason why I don't think the Timberwolves could meet with them this year, because I don't think that they have that time and experience that they have. So I'm going to keep the Nuggets at 1. So what you feeling?
You know, I'm not super mad at your list. I think I probably
very
wouldn't.
West Coast heavy.
What?
I said I'm very West Coast heavy.
Yeah, I mean, I think the West Coast teams. I mean, don't get me wrong. The East Coast teams are good, but they just have to prove it. Like you mentioned, the Celtics, they got to prove that they can actually take it home. Like, they've been close so many times. It's like, come on, get it together, y'all. The 76ers, I don't know. I don't really buy them. At least not making it all the way to the finals yet. Yeah. Honestly, I think it probably is going to be the Bucks coming out the East. I think they're going to have a good but kind of shaky regular season, end up in the top 4, and then end up taking it all the way to the finals. I think that's what the Bucks are going to do. The West is the most interesting. Now, the Oklahoma City Thunder. I had a feeling they were going to go to the Western Conference Finals before the season began, because last year, good young team. You already have your star. Your star is SGA. He's a bona fide star. You have Jalen Williams, who did get drafted out of my alma mater. Shout out Santa Clara. But Jalen Williams, he's a baller. He's legitimately an all-star candidate player. This year, you're getting Chet Holmgren back, and he has been playing lights out. So those 3 right there, you have Josh Giddey. I mean, they're young and they're talented and they're putting it together. I think this is just
experienced.
Not experienced.
3 5 to 7 game series.
And now I'm not. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that any of these players are going to be a Kevin Durant or a Russell Westbrook or a James Harden. But this seems like that young, talented team, round 2. They drafted all these players. They developed all these players. All these players are playing well and playing well together. I think they can make a run and end up making it to a Western Conference Finals. That's when they're going to run into some trouble because they are young and inexperienced. But I think they can do it. I really do. I really think they can pull off something like that. The Nuggets, I do love them. I think, it has been a shaky start to the season. They've lost a couple really close ones. They just lost to the Thunder on Saturday by 1 point. So I think they're going to be in a similar boat to the Bucks. They're going to have a good, shaky regular season. Going to end up in the top 4, maybe even top 5, depending on how shaky. But they're going to be able to make it to the Western Conference Finals and then, put themselves in a position to take it home. The Timberwolves have surprised me. I did not think the Timberwolves were going to be this good.
Really?
Listen, I've always
Anthony Edwards is a dog.
No. I've been a big believer in Anthony Edwards. The last 2-3 years of fantasy basketball, I've had him, and he's been great. So I believe in Anthony Edwards. I just didn't think the team was going to come together in this fashion. I mean, they're 20-6 right now. They're running through the West. So I didn't expect them to be this good, and you made a good point. Maybe this is the Nuggets team of last year. You know, they came into the season without a ton of expectations. We all know they have talent, and now they're just putting it together. So I wouldn't be surprised if the top three teams, it's some combination of those three teams in the Western Conference Finals. If I had to call it today, I would say it's going to be Bucks Nuggets in the finals. That's what I would say today.
All right.
But yeah, I think so far, you know, those teams are playing pretty good. Some teams are surprisingly not doing so well. I'm talking about you Lakers, and you two Warriors, but y'all have a lot going on.
Too much.
Yeah, but
See,
yeah. So
I didn't want to talk about nobody who's not, because you know we're getting to that middle season stretch, not that last final stretch, but it's like if you're having too much struggles right now, I don't see any teams below those top three who are just gonna completely explode to the point where it's like they can do it. But the AC Miami made it to the finals last year, so you never know.
You never know. And hey, Miami's sitting at number 7 in the East, so they might run it back again.
You know what playoff Jimmy's gonna bring, so.
Right.
Yeah. All right, man. I think that wraps us up for the day.
Yeah, that's the end of my topic, end of our show. So yeah, go ahead and closing it out for tonight. Thank you everybody for tuning in. This is Boogie and The Bell, best sports podcast on TikTok. Follow us on YouTube. And tune in, man. We got a new show. We got a new episode coming at you next week.
Peace.